Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something pretty wild, a high-stakes experiment where a cutting-edge AI goes head-to-head with a human developer for a real $4,000 coding job. The question is simple. Can an AI actually build a complex app from scratch and win?
So let's get right into the big question here. A YouTuber named Kelly Tsai had this crazy idea to put one of the most advanced AI coding agents through the ultimate real-world test. Could she take a high-paying freelance job and get an AI to build the whole thing from scratch with just one simple instruction? All right, so let's set the stage. What exactly was this digital showdown all about? We've got an ambitious project, a really powerful AI, and a very real prize on the line.
Okay, so the AI in the hot seat is called Replit Agent 3, and you gotta understand, this isn't your average code suggestion tool. It's designed to be a full-blown AI software engineer. I mean, it can test its own code, fix its own bugs, and just work for hours on end, all by itself, to take an idea all the way to a finished app.
And what were they competing for? A real $4,000 fixed-price freelance gig that she found on Upwork. The goal was to build a pretty complicated online marketplace for used cars. So yeah, this wasn't some made-up test case. We're talking about a real, live contract that was up for grabs.
And this wasn't a simple build-me-a-website kind of job. No. The client wanted the whole shebang, a full-featured platform, separate dashboards for buyers and sellers, advanced search, real-time chat, and even complex stuff like payment and map integrations. Oh, and on top of all that, it needed to be a web app, plus have dedicated apps for both iOS and Android. A huge task.
So you might be wondering, how do you even begin to tell an AI to build something this complex? Well, the process, as it turns out, was surprisingly straightforward.
The entire workflow is kind of mind-blowing in its simplicity. Kelly found the job, and then, get this, she just copied the client's entire list of requirements and pasted it right into the AI. That's it. The agent came back with a technical plan, she gave it the thumbs up, and boom, it was off to the races, working completely on its own.
But, just because the prompt was simple doesn't mean the job was. As Kelly said herself, she realized very quickly that this was a massive undertaking. The AI had to just cook. It worked completely on its own for hours, running overnight to build, test, and debug everything it was creating.
And here's where it gets really cool, almost like something out of a movie. The AI wasn't just working away in some black box. Kelly could actually monitor its progress and even answer clarifying questions from the AI, all from an app on her phone. Think about that. She could be out and about, and the AI would just ping her if it needed something. All right, the moment of truth. After a full night of the AI just grinding away, what did she find the next morning? Let's take a look at what this thing actually managed to build. Okay, let's start with the good news, because honestly, the results were seriously impressive. The AI built the entire core architecture of the app. We're not just talking a basic web page here. It built a functional landing page, full user authentication, and even complex features like those separate dashboards for buyers and sellers. It was even smart enough to ask for real API keys so it could test integrations properly. But, of course, it wasn't perfect. Not by a long shot. The final product had some pretty noticeable bugs, like images on the car listings that just wouldn't show up. All the data was just placeholder text, fake car info. And it never actually got around to building those dedicated iOS and Android apps. Plus, getting even this far required her to buy some extra AI credits. So when you put it all together, the amazing stuff it did build versus the stuff it kind of fumbled, what's the final call? Is the AI coder ready for prime time?
It really comes down to this. On the one hand, you have this incredible tool that can build the skeleton of a super complex app in record time, handling all the boring, tedious setup stuff on its own. But on the other hand, it's not a fire-and-forget solution. It still needs a human to keep an eye on it, it has running costs, and it definitely struggles with those final finishing touches and bugs. It's an amazing collaborator, for sure, but not a full replacement.
But let's talk about the money, because this is where things get really interesting. The job was worth $4,000. The extra credits she had to buy cost less than $100. That leaves a potential profit of around $3,900 for a project that was, for the most part, automated. That return on investment is just wild.
And really, Kelly's own words sum it up perfectly. She was flat out impressed. Even with all its flaws, the AI pulled off a monumental task in just a matter of hours, something she figured would have taken a whole team of human developers several days to do.
So where does all this leave us? Look, the AI didn't steal the developer's job here, but it acted as an incredibly powerful co-pilot, turning days of work into just hours. The question is no longer if AI is going to be part of building software. The real question for all of us is, how will we learn to work with it?